I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. And I'm gonna chase it, and I'm gonna chase it. I know we can't ignore it, no matter how hard we try. Fire in the veins, I fight to gain, breaking all the rules to keep me sane.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the English Shooting Weekly live stream. Sorry about last week with everything going on. I think we just needed a break, but we're back as usual here in the Blue Fieldsports gun room. Of course, I'm joined by Conners, and we have Alex and Paul behind the camera running everything, although Paul's just on his phone. He's just here for the good looks, really.
He's just posting videos of himself.
It'd be interesting to know, guys. Let us know how we sound. No, not boring. We've got a different bit of a...
Although I think we'll accept boring as criticism.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're used to criticism on here.
If you find us boring, drop a like and we'll take it into account.
And if we hit 100 likes, I'm going home.
Actually, can we alter the deal?
Oh, no.
If we hit 100 likes, we'll replace Callum with Paul.
Yeah, I'm good with this. He's sort of the younger, better looking version. I mean, he's still got a few things to learn about.
Can't be next week, though.
Can't be next week. No. Well,
No.
we can change that. But he's still got a few things to learn, young Paul.
That sounds really ominous. Like we are barely a minute into the stream. We're already starting.
Oh, it's going to go downhill, isn't it? But anyway, it's the usual deal. Any topics or questions that you have, please fire them away. We will try and answer as many as we can. And please don't forget to give it a like if you're enjoying the stream. So with there being a 2-week gap, there's a fair amount that's gone on, a lot to talk about. I'm sure you can see a little bit of preview there. But actually probably the main specimen for this evening, we couldn't fit it in front of us because it's quite a beastie bit of equipment, is actually the Desert Tech behind us. I should have been more prepared.
Can you see that a bit better?
Can you get your lean?
Callum, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What sort of action is that gun?
It's a bullpup, isn't it?
It's actually
It's
a bullpup.
actually a bullpup.
Actually a bullpup.
So many of you will know my faux pas with the Chris Vector. I did admittedly say it looked like a bullpup.
No, it doesn't.
No, I didn't say it was a bullpup.
It doesn't even look like a bullpup.
It does to me, okay. I was squinting at the time. So behind us is the Desert Tech SRS A1 with a Vortex Razor HD AMG, which is the top of the line. It's the 6-24 by 50. I'm just going to read off some specs because it's a pretty beastie bit of kit. So it's chambered in 308, so fairly economical to run. It's 24-inch barrel. Of course, one of the design features of the Desert Tech is interchangeable barrels. The current / previous owner, whichever way you want to look at it, was looking at getting a 6.5 Creedmoor, so I know that's an option. You've got a 10-round magazine with it. It comes with a 2-round quiver, which is the thing on the side.
Yep.
Holds
It's like a
2
shot
rounds.
saver, but for rifle ammunition.
Yeah, it's just a shot saver, but worse. You've got the Razor HD. You've got Phoenix bipod. And
The bipod is pretty swish, if I do say so myself.
it looks like it's about to go out onto the Alps and do some slaloms, if I'm going to be completely honest.
It's a nice beefy bipod, and the thing is about that bipod is it's in the correct position for a bipod, which is over the barrel.
Yep, but it does look like it's about to take after James Bond down some sort of alpine slope. But we've also got the ASE muzzle brake, ASE QD moderator and Silence Co cover. And the reason it's behind us and the reason I'm telling you lovely people about it is because it is available to buy for the small sum of £7,000 if you have
Or
a bit
near
of
offer,
cash.
Alex?
Or near offer. Depends.
Or a very near offer.
So if you're interested in it, I know that these are
20 quid.
They're very rare. I'll give them 30.
31.
31, 35.
We're starting a bidding war. Let's go.
No. Yeah, let's get the biddings going. Let's auction it live, Dan. We'll see.
We've got £6,900 to go.
Yes, let's get there. We could get there. But it's actually Dan Smerrill's rifle.
Don't say that, will devalue it.
Oh, £6,000 now. But being Dan's, it's not.
Being Dan's, not a penny has been spared on the gun. And it is...
Absolutely not.
It is kitted out to the nines.
Yeah, but it's available here at Blue Fieldsports. So if you're in the market for a Desert Tech, they are fairly rare here in the UK, fairly hard to get in. So
I don't think I've ever seen another one.
I've never seen another one in the flesh, that's for sure. I've heard rumours of other people getting them in. He had to specially order it in. I think it was through Caliber Innovations. I mean, Dan might actually... Yeah, he's in the chat. Thanks for joining, Dan. So I think it came through Caliber Innovations, special order. That must have been a fair weight. But we've also...
It certainly would have cost more than the £7,000 it's up for sale for.
Yes, yeah. So you're probably getting quite a fair discount and a lot of less hassle because it's right here.
Come see it.
We will
in the flesh. As long as you're wearing a mask.
You've got some hand sanitizer.
And no, we've got hand sanitizer.
We've also got masks as well.
Yeah, but they're not for customers.
Do you know what we should get? Is like branded masks.
I'm gonna kill you.
Maybe like nice Magload ones. Anyway, moving on, sore point. We've also got a few, it's like I basically rob Dan every week because we've got a few of his bits in front of us as well. Something that you'll be fairly familiar with is the Gen 2 1:6 Razor HD from Vortex, but it's fairly hard to tell them apart, but we do have I can actually handle this because it's only a scope. We have
But not if you're trying to take it through an airport.
No.
The mount is not a scope, is it?
Oh God, no. Yeah, because it's closer to the gun, it will give you problems going through Chicago Customs. So this is, as far as we are aware, the first Gen 3 1:10 Vortex Razor HD in the country. And I do have to stress, don't start trying to phone up your Vortex dealers or distributors. This came through Dan's own channels, whatever they are. He sounds like a...
Grey import.
Grey import. He's half American. He has contacts out in America. He was able to arrange it. Again, all of them by himself. And that's actually an interesting point. Probably something we should make a video on is that ITAR regulations have changed. So there's no issues now with sending something like this through the post from America to the UK. So we don't yet know when the proper supply will hit the UK shores, but thanks to Dan, we have the first one here, and it's on an incredible ScalarWorks mount. And I reviewed a ScalarWorks mount with the Trijicon MRO
I have to say, ScalarWorks just never cease to impress. I mean, they don't have the same functionality as a worn mount, but seriously, for the lightweightness and just the sort of little features and little bells and whistles it has on it, it's really nice.
Nothing has been spared on it. Even it's got this red leveling nut, so it makes sure that the scope is in there perfectly. Really helps get it aligned first time on there or leveled first time. So all these little things, and the wheels, the quick detach wheels. But there is one addition from Dan, and it's how you know it's Dan's. Under special instruction. If you can't afford one, well, it says it right there.
Yeah.
So that's Dan's very special adage to it. I think.
One second, guys. If your stream is out of sync, please refresh the page.
Yes. Yeah. We have an excellent connection. So for once, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's the Razor HD 1:10. A lot of people have been really hyped up about these. We've had a little look through it. We haven't been down to the range with it yet.
Haven't shot it in anger yet.
No.
The one thing I can say that I certainly noticed, and we have decided that most of it is down to the mount, but it is significantly lighter than the original. Now, a lot of that's in the mount. I think when you weighed it,
it is.
It was a lot closer.
But also it's another sort of misnomer on it, because so my Gen 2 is the original Gen 2. It's not the Gen 2E.
Well, the one I've got is certainly heavier than that one.
Than that one?
Than the new one, yeah.
You might have if you don't have the E is about 100 grams lighter. So when I weighed these two out, it was 200 grams different with the scope mounts on it. And there was 100 grams different in the mount from what we could find online. So there's 100 grams different in the scope, which makes sense because the E is 100 grams lighter, and Vortex actually say that is the same weight as the E.
Right, okay.
So there's no weight advantage over the Gen 2E, but obviously you've got that 10 times magnification. It's got a 34mm body, so there should be a little bit more light in it, although looking through them, it is very hard to tell the difference. The biggest difference is the reticle.
Well, it's the reticle in the zoom.
And
the throw lever.
And also its first focal plane.
Well, yeah.
But
is it second focal plane?
No, the old gens are second.
Yep.
The new one's first focal plane. First focal plane scopes are usually more expensive. There's more going on inside them, obviously. And yeah, as you pointed out, it does come with a mount. Whether or not that's going to justify the additional £600 to £700 over the Gen 2, I don't know. But I've got a quick video coming out, again, because of the weather recently, haven't been able to get down to the range, but we'll go down there, fire it in anger, but I've got a small video coming out just going over the comparison, sat on the bench. So I know a lot of people are interested, and I'm very, very grateful to Dan for allowing me to be the first one in the UK to sort of get a proper feel outside of a shooting show.
Shall we get to some of the questions?
Yes, we should.
Okay, so 100 likes lick Callum. 100 licks like Callum? Potentially.
What do I get? Do I get a lick or a lick alike?
You're a bit of a lick-alike, so I might like a lick. Are we sponsored by Pepsi Max? No, but they really should. Is your FAC in yet? Oh, yeah, you didn't tell me whether or not you got through to the GP this morning.
So I can't remember where we were with the update, but I'm waiting for my GP form. They have taken payment and nothing. Like for like a week or 2 weeks, nothing. Haven't heard anything. Phoned them up this morning, and it was like, oh, you need to speak to Sheila. Well, can I speak to Sheila, please? Nah, she's away. You're gonna have to phone back on Tuesday. It's like, okay. So I'm gonna phone on Tuesday and find out what's going on with the GP form, and then I'll be putting the application in.
Yeah.
So.
Stephen Emery, FAC question, putting a 12 gauge shotgun on your license next renewal. And you're not sure if you're going box fed, pump, semi. Yeah, so for caliber you put 12 gauge, and for type you put shotgun. You don't need to specify the action type or anything like that. For all they know, you could be buying a bolt action. So
yeah, and some counties will try to nail you down.
Just tell them you haven't decided yet. They don't have to. They don't put it in your certificate.
You know, you don't have to do that. And again, it's just like with, well, I suppose you do put semi-auto. If you put rifle,
no, you don't.
No, you just put rifle.
Just put rifle. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't tie yourself down. But we've talked about this before in terms of, at the end of the day, if you say to your FEO, yes, I want a 2.2 rifle for a single shot bolt action target rifle, and then you go and buy like a 1522, they're going to be, well, that's not even in the same realm. So yeah, don't take the piss.
So if you're putting down a 12 gauge shotgun on your FAC, they're going to be aware that it's going to be a shotgun with more than 3 shots on it.
Yep.
We would hope.
No.
Or it could be a short.
Sawn off.
Yeah, it could be a short barrel 2-shot. Could be a short barrel
so
2-shot.
Again, I've had this conversation like loads of times, and I'm still not 100% sure. But as far as I understand it, you can, if you were to take an under and over or side by side, you could cut down the barrels to 12 inch.
12 inches and put it on FAC. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure that's the case.
Is that
Alex,
right?
Alex is nodding. The voice of God is nodding.
I'm pretty sure it's 12 inch, but you still got to stick to the 30 inch overall, 24 inch overall.
24 inch overall, yeah.
Yes.
So you can't cut the stock down.
No.
And then it questions whether if you take the stock off and it's still functioning, which it would, is it then section 5?
No, because it's in a state of disrepair if it's been dismantled.
And there's the grey area.
Well, you could say the same for anything.
Yeah, no. You can.
No, because you could take a 24 inch gun.
And it becomes an illegal shotgun, but it doesn't become section 5, it becomes section 1.
But it's already section 1.
Okay,
so rather than puzzling over these things.
I want a sawn off, cut off stock with a rod.
Yes.
That would be legal.
That'd be legal. We've got to buy like 100 quid side by side.
You can get them for less than that. You can get them for like 40 quid on gun trade.
Cut them down.
I get you as many as you want for free.
Get us one, and we will make a UK legal
sawn off
shotgun.
It's going to be monstrous.
You're going to love it. I'll do it as well as I can.
Yeah.
I won't use the axe this time.
Well, you know someone that can finish off a good stock.
Yeah.
So see what we can do. Carl has asked and waited very patiently. Any news on the safety courses?
Yes. So we have 3 safety courses. Dates and UK PSA sanctions are just being finalised. Once that's all done, there will be some posts on Blue Fieldsports to announce when those spots are available.
People can email in now. We've got the dates set. We just haven't got sanctions. So if they want to email and get a space, they're welcome to email and get a space.
Yeah.
So for those of you that might not know what we're talking about, within IPSC, the International Practical Shooting Confederation, the UK PSA is the GB franchise for that organisation, and in order to compete in level 2 matches or above, you need a safety course, and you have a short gun and a long gun safety course. You also have an action air, which you can then...
Which is part of the short... So it's more complicated than that. Yeah. There's short gun and long gun, and there's disciplines within that. It's a bit like doing your driving licence, but taking a test in an automatic. Only lets you drive automatics, where if you take your test in a manual...
Wait, is there like an automatic division?
Yeah, they call it standard.
No, that's open.
Standard auto. That's what it's called. Any hizzle. We do a shotgun course here, which is basically the manual version of the long gun course. So if you do shotgun, you are then qualified to shoot rifle and mini rifle from there as well. On the note of action air courses, if you do an action air course, you can only shoot action air matches until you do a conversion course or a handgun competency. And basically, for whatever your maximum recoil test that you've taken, you can then shoot everything underneath that. So the lowest recoil is action air, followed by a long barreled 2.2, followed by long barreled full bore, followed by full bore handgun, which obviously you will do abroad or at NHTSA.
So the route that I ended up doing I did my long gun. Well, first of all, I did it with a very good trainer called Ian Corrigan.
Yep.
That then expired because I didn't become a UK PSA member in time.
He's a twat.
Yes, what else is new? Then I did my current safety course with Conners. So that doing the shotgun qualifies me.
That was painful.
Yes, yeah, you and me both. That qualified me for rifle.
Qualified.
Yeah, well, it's late, all right?
It's not.
I'm waiting for the caffeine to kick in. I need more pep. So
there's 2 more cans over there, and two underneath the desk here.
Good luck. So I can shoot in rifle and shotgun, and then the route that I took for my shotgun was doing the action air course, and it was Vanessa Duffy, the current chairman at the time.
And Ollie was on that course with us as well, as well as John Jennings.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
Ollie Bloomfield.
I never heard of him. So we've got. So I got my action air certificate, and then went over to NHTSA, and then it was Clive Gamlin, who's actually the UK.
Clive Gamlin, who is the UK handgun rep.
That's it.
Yeah, so he did both of our handgun competency checks at NHTSA, which was long. But Clive's very good, and fortunately we had a stage almost set up for us, so we could just go through all the details.
And it might sound a bit boring, like, oh, you've got to go and get the safety course and to sit a course. Like, obviously we don't shoot that much handgun. Just doing the course alone, whilst we did get an hour or two afterwards to sort of fill our boots with
I like
shooting.
Shadow too.
Yes, you do. It's all right.
I like Shadow too.
Basically, the course themselves
farting.
was a good experience within shooting, and I say that within getting a taste of it. And I say to a lot of people, if you're thinking of trying out practical, just do your safety course. You'll get a good taster of it. If your instructor is good, then you'll have a nice time. Yes, they are.
Except for one. We don't talk about that.
Is that
not allowed to talk about that? We have an embargo on talking about anything related to that subject.
Okay. No, I thought you were going to say yourself.
Oh no!
I'm one of the best.
I'm top notch, mate. I alone am best.
So yes, if you want to get that safety course, if you just want to come and try it and get the safety certificate, then get in contact with Blue Fieldsports, and we'll get you booked in. So we've got a question from.
Moving on, I was going down the list here. So Sinner 2004 is asking, how did the competition go? I don't know which competition you're talking about, so if you clarify, we will tell you. There have been a few in recent times. Daniel Smerald, that is a beautiful rifle, of course it fucking is. Why are you getting rid, Dan? Because Dan's poor.
Wait, Daniel.
Yeah, I know. Why put that sticker on your gun, but then sell your rifle because you
Do you know what I do? I should go and review the scope.
Do you know what you haven't done?
On that. Yeah, but it wouldn't be COVID safe, would it?
It would be on the sticker.
Yeah, but then that's not looking the scope.
Just lick that bit, the glass. No one's touched
glass?
No one's touched the glass yet.
I'll do that. Do the back one for good measure. Do you know what?
That is some well-practiced tongue action, my friend.
That's what they all say. So maybe for the review, I should put this on the Desertec.
Yes. Oh,
100%. Test the 10 times. Well, it's a long-range scope now, isn't it?
Well, not really. It's still only 10.
No. Everyone keeps telling me 10 times magnification, I'll be able to go out to 1,000 yards, no problem.
Well, you could, because I can do 1,000 yards with iron sights, but that's neither here nor there.
Actually, that's a really good,
It's not. It's a practical scope. Test it on a practical gun.
1,000-yard range. 308.
Stop me. Unless you're James Nixon, in which case Nerf guns can go 1,000 yards.
What's that?
He once claimed in a group chat that Nerf guns could go 1,000 yards, so this is the perfect scope for him.
Was he slightly tipsy at the time?
No, he was just wrong.
Oh dear. Anyway, what are you guys talking about?
So what's the price for a 1522 Sport, and is there much advantage to a 1522 Performance Centre? So it depends what you're going to do with it. If you're going to shoot the gun and just leave it, well, to be fair, Let me rephrase that. 1522 Performance Center has the 18-inch, I believe, fluted barrel, heavy fluted barrel, which is supposed to be more accurate and has a tighter chamber. I don't know if, honestly, the barrel alone is worth getting the performance model. I would certainly choose to go with the slightly shorter barreled standard model, which I believe is £550 at Blue Fieldsports. Yeah, and then trick it out from there, because then the money you save, you put towards an optic or something else that you need for the gun. Because don't forget, after you bought a gun, you still need to get an optic for it.
And with one of the appeals, if you're going for a 1522, you are probably liking the fact that it's close to a mil-spec AR, close, and you're going to change stuff. And there's a lot of people that went for the MOE versions, which is kitted out in Magpul, and most people after 6 months go, I don't know why I bothered, because I've changed the grip, I've changed the stock, I've changed this, I've changed that. So yes, the Performance Center offers you things that you can't.
The only thing the Performance Center really gives you that's
line.
worth anything at all is the barrel.
Yes.
And I don't know if that barrel is worth it.
No, I mean, so Ben Ducker has the Performance.
Ben's got the Performance Center, and he's changed everything but the barrel.
So that's probably, it's really, if it's going to be marginal gains.
It'd be interesting to see what he says, if he'd rather have bought the standard model.
Or maybe we should test it, because I've got a 12-inch barrel, you've got a standard, and he has the Performance Center.
Yeah, well,
so we should do like an accuracy test between all of them.
Yeah.
I saw.
So my missus is asking if we have any built on. No, we do not.
That's why we're very sad.
Florence has not been down here, which makes us very down.
Yeah, I hate it when I'm down.
I shot my friend with a 300 mag. Sorry, I shot my friend's 300 Win mag. Okay.
Slightly different conversation there.
Different conversation, yeah.
I don't know why he won't speak to me.
He's just lying on the floor. He hasn't moved for days.
Go on, give us a laugh. I'll get the 338.
Kiddle saying, just read the NRA blob calling for ROs for Action Weekend, free food, free stay, free clothing, free mug and free shoot. Did it get more than that for Cottesloe? I'm probably in the wrong position to comment for Cottesloe, because I also sponsored the match.
You did get a nice mask. I
did get a nice mask. Almost died showing it, but
yes.
I did get a nice mask.
So we're driving home last night, and the Connors is like, "Oh, I need to show you something." Disappears down into the door card as we're taking a bend. Needless to say, we didn't stay in the lane. I'm screaming. He's chilled as beans, and then it's like gets it back into the right lane with a car coming towards us. It's like, so what was all that about? He's like, I got a nice mask.
Did you see? Yeah, but only the RO's got that mask.
Yeah, and that would have been the last thing that I'd have seen.
Yeah, but at least you would have seen it.
Yes. Yeah, a nice Cottesloe Heath mask. Yeah. My last moments in Earth on Earth.
Cottesloe Heath was a nice match. I know a lot of people complained about it after the match, but realistically, what you go there for is the slug stage.
Yeah, it's
and everything else.
Absolutely.
Whilst there were some really good stages, especially like the ones designed by Ian and Bill. Bill's stage was really nice to shoot. Actually, I really enjoyed that because it was a proper memory. Well, it didn't have to be a memory stage, but that's what made it good. But everyone goes there for the slug stage, and that slug stage was immense. 105-yard poppers at the end.
How many shots?
So I believe it was 27 shots required. Most people got through around 30 or 40. Well, most people got through over 40.
Yeah.
I think I did it in about 34 shots, judging by what was left of my belt at the end.
Did you see where you came in the end on that stage?
In manual, I came first on that stage.
Awesome.
And I was pretty high up on the rest of it.
Yeah.
It's basically a slug stage is all about knowing the hold.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know their hold. Fortunately, we do have the luxury of 100-yard range here, so we did sight in.
But despite that, I still can't hit shit with a slug. More practice required, definitely, on that one.
Yeah.
But you did also have a very good result for Cottesloe.
Yeah, second, pipped by 2% by Ian Guy once again. He is virtually unbeatable. Unless it's a club match, I don't seem to be able to beat him. Ian Guy is one of those people that you call Mr. Consistent, because he is just consistent all the way through. He's just very, very good. And whilst I had some really good stages, I also had some really bad stages, which is very unlike me. I would normally...
They're normally all bad.
I'm normally fairly consistent all the way through, but I think because it was Cottesloe and I was already tired from the day before and wanted the day to be over, I just did stuff that I wouldn't normally do. Cost myself
Well,
quite a bit on a couple
You'd
of
already
stages.
spent a day ROing.
Yeah, spent a day ROing in the rain. It'd
wet,
been raining
cold.
all day.
Yeah.
We had to wait 2 hours to get onto the slug stage, which is not abnormal for that match. I mean, again, it's a 30-round slug stage with 105-meter poppers. It takes like 5 minutes just to reset the stage.
Yeah,
insane.
it's immense.
I think they're running like 12 minutes beep to beep on the slug stage, whereas you'd normally expect it to be 2 minutes in a shotgun match.
So we did have another question about competition, which was from Wayne. Thanks for joining us, Wayne. Any tips for Ely Speed Challenge?
Dave Kiddle hit that nail on the head.
Well, yeah, shoot fast, don't miss.
Yeah.
If it's your first time going there, don't rush it. It's much better to be 50% slower and hit everything than have multiple top ups.
I will disagree with you there. If it's your first time going, go balls out for your first run, see how fast you can go, and then dial it back for your other runs, because you get to mulligan all of your runs.
Yeah.
Now, if it's your first time, that's not something you would do if you're good. You'd actually manage your mulligan
Well,
run.
I suppose you need
better.
to find your limit, don't you?
Yeah, so if you push and see how fast you can push it, and then dial it back from there for your other runs, you'll probably find like doing that, your last run is your slowest. But then if your first run was your best and it was your fastest, you mulligan your slowest run. So
there are like two ways of approaching it. Because you get to drop one, you could go into it and say, right, your first actual stage, it could be a dumpster fire, or first run could be a dumpster fire, and then you slow it down. Or you do, you get 2 or 3, middle of the road in there, taking your time, and then for the last, maybe for the fourth run, you go, is it 4 and drop 1 or 5 and drop 1?
5 and drop 1.
Yeah.
Do not forget to reload.
Yes.
That is one
Don't do
thing
that.
I've seen so many people do at a speed still.
Although I managed to do it
if
through
you-
the round perfectly.
If you forget to reload, you're fucked up. If you've run out of ammo in the stage because you keep missing, you're also fucked up.
No chili jam. So yeah, that's our vague advice for it. But just go and enjoy it. Don't, as John Axe was saying the other night, don't go into a competition with expectation. Just go in. You know how you can shoot, how fast you can go, how accurate you are. Just go and perform to the best of your own ability.
Oh, and as Smerald says, bring a chair.
Yes, definitely. There's any practical competition.
Speed still is if it's on the same range where they're only setting up 6 stages in the morning, then they have to break down and rebuild 6 stages in the afternoon. There will be some waiting around during that period. So
we've got a question from 93ed.b. How long do I have to wait until I can apply for a shotgun license with a spent conviction? In 2018, I received a 16-week sentence suspended for a year. So as far as I believe, it's only if you've served over 3 months in prison. If you've actually been in prison for 3 months or more, that the mandatory 5-year period kicks in. So if you are arrested for something and charged with something and you spend 3 months or longer in prison, you will, as soon as you come out of prison, you will have to wait 5 years. So because you haven't done that, there's technically no minimum time that you're going to have to wait. Now, how long, therefore, you're going to have to wait is going to be completely down to your licensing department. It would be unjustified.
You want to just check your maths there. If you spend more than 3 months in prison, you have to wait 5 years. He did 16 weeks.
Suspended sentence.
Suspended.
I think it's based on even if it's suspended.
If you're not sure, check with your FEO.
Your FEO.
That's the catch-all answer from us.
Yeah,
is
I did not math properly. But then if you haven't, it's been suspended.
You've
It's
been
like,
too busy shouting at an Arduino all day.
well, no, you have. Jesus, we're having a bit of an electronics project at the moment, and it's noise activated. And Connors, every time I turn it on to like give it a quick, I don't have to. Because Connor shouts at me from across the container.
Not doing it in here because Alex's ears will bleed. He's easily broken.
I already have a headache.
Yes.
So anyway, your FEO will be the best person, but basically you may or may not come under that sort of caveat of the 5 years. If you don't, and there isn't a minimum period, then the maximum that they would usually impose would be 4 years. But it can depend. You know, there are some, you know, it's been reported to me that there's people that have served a few weeks in prison. 6 months later, they've reapplied and got their licenses. It depends on what the conviction was for, the circumstances of it, your previous record, anything like that. But yeah, your FEO is probably going to be the best person to speak to.
And at the end of the day, the FLD is there for advice, so go and ask them for it.
Yeah, and yeah, they should be able to help you out. Oh, Alex Florence has joined us. Hi, Alex.
Have you got that photo ready?
No, I don't.
Can you bring it up? Oh,
No, Paul, just put it in front of
Paul will get it up on his phone.
Alex is going to be so happy he's joined us.
Yeah.
We're not going to embarrass him
Where
at
is
all.
he? What's he said?
He just said hello.
Do you want the corridor or the
Definitely the corridors.
The
are
corridor.
or the oopsie?
The corridor.
I don't know.
The corridor.
Would it be fair to talk about his
No, it
oopsie?
wouldn't be fair.
No. But we do have a glorious photo of Alex in motion.
Of Blue Fieldsports and Magload sponsored shooter, Alex Florence. Here it comes. Can you get it in focus?
It's not focused.
It's not gonna focus.
No,
not gonna
press the focus button. Is it gonna go on? Do it. Yes! Yes!
Look at that.
It's glorious.
Glorious. Look at the tongue and the concentration in his eyes.
That is a man in his prime right there.
Yep. Oh dear. Take it away.
Take it away.
We're going to start
You've
losing viewers at this point.
Go on, press the focus again.
He did.
There we go. It's back on.
Perfection.
See, it's good when we've got helpers.
We're on obviously the stream's on a slight delay, so we're only just seeing it on your screens now, and it is
Glorious.
glorious.
It's perfection. Alex will be
Glorious.
beating the ladies away with a stick.
The trouble is, he is.
He is. Yeah. We won't even get into that because there's that. Alex Florence. those chins. Couldn't say it better myself. Tech Gamer 45. My eyes. Yes, we do apologise. I should have put an over 18 label on the stream. Some of you will not sleep properly tonight. That's for sure.
Yeah. Cool. Where do we get the results of Cottesloe Heath? It's on Practice Score. Just type in CHC. And it will
Or
be on
if
there.
you go onto Facebook, go on to the NRA Shotgun League, it will be one of the most recent posts.
It's not on there.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't find it.
That's where I kept getting it.
All right. So you could do that, but it's on Practice Score under CHC. You can do that.
Daniel Smerrill, Sweet Jesus, that's a picture to have carved into stone. Or
You don't have to. It's now carved into your mind.
or we could laser
also-
engrave it into
Yep.
the Razor HD.
I can raster engrave a photo, and it will come out really nicely.
Do you
in
know,
that
I'm
place.
actually quite tempted just to get Alex's face right on there, laser engraved.
Do you want to do it?
Can
We
you
can
buy
tell-
new tops? It might put me off in competition.
Okay.
Yeah,
Someone
it's-
asked, "What's the best drop-in trigger single stage for an M&P 1522?" Very good question.
AR Gold.
No, because the R Gold is a two-stage trigger, unless you tune it like I did, in which case it is technically a single stage. But he's talking about a drop-in, right? So he probably doesn't want to be modifying stuff on the trigger. I'm going to tentatively say, until Pete Dennis does actually send one through for testing, I'm going to tentatively say that the BR22 is probably the best drop-in trigger at the moment.
Just don't get me to install it.
No, don't get him to install it.
Just don't.
There is a manual, and that manual did not get read. There's actually a video
There is.
of you looking at the manual
Yes.
and throwing it over your shoulder.
Yes, there is.
If I'm correct in understanding, the precise wording used at the time was yeet.
Yeah. No, it was. Who the fuck needs a manual? Yeet. 5 minutes later, after many head and ball scratches, I'm on my hands and knees trying to find this instruction set. Still didn't manage to fit it correctly. But there is a video. I'm just waiting for a particular product to come to market from Magload, and then the video will be going out.
Just put it out.
Well, no, because
People fucking know it's coming. It's not a
Yeah.
surprise.
But I say in the video, by the time this video goes out, this product, because it was
It's your fault for doing it. It's your fault they're not out.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You have one job to do on it.
I've done it.
On the piss.
We want to talk on the piss.
Shut up.
Anyway, Excuse us while we have a
Yeah, so
domestic.
I would stay away from like the likes of CMC and that sort of stuff. They've got a really nice positive reset, but that's about all they've got going for them. They are very smooth, but it's just a really long, heavy brake.
Personally, I have given up trying to drop in aftermarket triggers on the 1522. Like, I tried the CMC,
Yeah.
my gun shits the bed. Your AR Gold, you did get working.
I fucked it up too much.
That wouldn't be the first time.
But so like the best two triggers that I would select as of this moment.
Yeah.
AR Gold, which I've been running for quite a while, absolutely love the thing. Closely followed by the new Trigger Tech. Now Otto's given me the new Trigger Tech to run in and see how it works. It's heavier than the AR Gold, but the reset is so much more positive. Because the AR Gold, because it's a target trigger, it's very mushy. So when you're trying to shoot fast with it, you don't feel the reset, and you can end up riding the trigger. Less swearing. We're being told less swearing, everyone. So there will be less swearing from now on. Did I swear? Have I sworn this stream?
Like in the last 3 minutes, you've said so many swear words. It's unbelievable.
I don't swear.
You do.
Bullshit.
I was waiting for that. Anyway, this is a family-friendly channel.
It really isn't. Not with Florence's face on it.
Oh God, no. That's definitely not safe for work.
No, or James, as he likes to be called.
Yeah, if you ever see Mr.
Yeah.
Florence, just call him James. He loves
So
it.
the Trigger Tech may overtake the AR Gold as my current favourite trigger. It's very, very nice. However, I am still working on dropping the trigger weight down to a level that I'm happy with. But that reset is so positive. It's not as positive as a CMC, but then again, it doesn't have the heavy pull and the long pull of a CMC. But the BR22 is adjustable in so many ways. I think it makes it a really good trigger, even if it's not straight out of the box.
I've had so many bad experiences. I've just got used to the crappy standard one.
Well, your trigger isn't crappy though.
Well, yeah.
Your trigger is so well worn, it breaks like glass. It's really actually It's very heavy.
I did do a trigger job on it. Like, it's not... Like, I don't know what the hell I was doing.
When you say you did a trigger job, you changed the springs?
I changed the springs.
Yeah.
And I polished some bits.
So, guys, never be tempted to polish your trigger, especially on something like a stock AR, because what will happen, and this is probably what's happened with yours actually, is those parts are only case hardened. You start polishing, you remove too much material, you end up getting through the case hardening. It'll be very, very nice and buttery smooth up until the point you wear through it, in which case it's
been fine, mate. It's been fine.
Probably not for much longer.
It's fine.
It depends how you polished it. If you did any like major material
I watched
removal.
a YouTube on video, and I watched a video on YouTube. And
sorry,
obviously,
it's broken.
What's broken?
Well, I just said fucked, and I'm not allowed to swear.
No, really, guys.
Okay.
So yeah, I watched a video because everything on YouTube is obviously correct. You know, no one would ever put out information on YouTube that was incorrect or not factually true. But anyway, it did well. It improved it. I liked it. It hasn't broken since, and that gun's had a hell of an existence. It's been a club gun. It's put up with me for the last 8 years or so. So it's done a good job. But I am eyeing up potentially replacing it later down the line.
So some shotgun shell manufacturers swapping lead for steel cartridges. Do you think it's going to be long before practical shotgun comps start requiring use of these new eco-bio steel shells? Practical shotgun will probably never use steel because of the ricochet risk. Like our current safe distance from a target is 5 meters.
Would have to be like 25, wouldn't it?
20-25 meters, to make it safe from steel shot ricochets.
It's just ridiculous. But also as well, with this argument of lead shot, the whole premise. So Basque's push forward on it was basically because of game shooting and rough shooting, where you're out in the countryside and they say that you're spreading lead everywhere. If you're going to a practical match, it's in confined bays.
And the other thing, the main reason to ban lead is ground toxicity.
Yeah.
And the trouble is with steel is it actually leaches through iron oxide more toxic stuff into the ground than lead does, because lead is inert. Yeah. I think one of the main genuine factors that people are trying to ban lead is waterfowl eating it, because they will eat gravel and things to aid their digestion.
There's also
but the thing is they tend to pass it through before they've absorbed much anyway.
And then there's also the argument about lead bullets and getting fragments when you shoot a deer or something like that. And again, I've never shot a deer, never been out stalking, so I can't say
You
whether
have had several opportunities, you just couldn't wake up in time.
No, it's too early. Why is every shooting discipline a morning sport? Like, I like a nap, and especially when most matches are on a Sunday.
You should see the signs, Callum. You were not born to shoot.
No. Shooting should just be an afternoon pursuit. Not getting up at the crack of Sparrowfart to go out and stand in some cold, wet area of God knows where.
Yeah. As Paul Alexander is saying, the lead argument is purely political. It is. Many people will see it as a shadow ban. To be fair, it's one of those things that there's so much information and misinformation out there. It's very hard to see what's real and what's not. So, I mean, if it wasn't a shadow ban, they wouldn't be pushing it as hard, as far as I'm concerned.
You know, I've sort of done this one to death. It's just the confliction of, you know, Basque at the moment, to their credit, are doing a very good job of defending the current sort of charges from the EU on this. But then, on the other hand, they're telling their whole membership that we should be moving away. So, you know, if I was in, you know, the EU and Basque were arguing against, I would say, but you're actually advocating that your members are changing, so you can't think it's that bad.
Yeah, and another thing about the lead bans that have gone on in other countries.
Yeah.
There's actually a really good video, we should try and find it, of this guy talking about how the lead ban has impacted him. And he's talking about, no, he shoots steel all the time, shoots all sorts of birds with steel. And then someone asks him, so how do you deal with high birds? And he just laughs. Because we don't shoot high birds anymore. Because the performance of steel was not enough to get a humane kill on a high bird, so they just don't do it.
So it's just one of those very complex. Like I think ultimately Basque are looking ahead and seeing that it's inevitable. Like it's something is going to come in at some point, so we might as well get that done ourselves.
6 months down the line, I can sort of see where they were coming from in trying to do that, trying to get ahead of the curve, but they were just a little misguided at the time.
I think their intentions were right, their implementation was wrong.
I think their intentions were wrong, their implementation was wrong. I can see what they were trying to do.
I was trying to give them some credit.
I can't, because if they'd asked their membership or even let them know, then they probably would have had a completely
but
different
they
response.
regularly consult their membership. Not that I've ever received an email about consultation, but anyway, moving on.
It's not a Basque member anymore, so it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Although I still get their bloody emails. So anyway, keep the conversation going. It's not just going to be about us moaning. We have
The streams are nothing but us moaning.
I know.
Why do you think Alex is going to do it?
as I was saying that, I couldn't keep a straight face.
All we do is moan.
Yes, we're grumpy old bar stewards. There we go. It wasn't a swear word.
No.
No, we
Bar
can
stools.
have really good fun with this. Anyway, really good news from Magload. Big announcement yesterday. Don't act surprised. Like, you should know about this.
I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, well, Paul's now head of the company. We've been kicked out.
Yep. Cool.
So,
Hey.
you know.
Shut up, Paul.
Yeah, what he doesn't know is the £500,000 of debt. Swiftly.
Bye!
Anyway, if you follow Magload, there was a pretty big bit of news.
Yes.
There's a new sponsored shooter
There is a new sponsored shooter.
called Yarko
Laukia.
I mean,
And-
there was a
and-
50-50 chance there.
No, there wasn't.
No.
There was never a chance of you pronouncing anything.
But if you ask Conners, he's only the senior
No.
world champion.
No.
So, Yarko.
Yarko Laukia
Yep.
is the world champion. Don't ask what discipline. He is the world champion. Actually, to be fair, he's not world champion in handgun.
Yet.
God, he's not trying hard enough.
So,
He is world champion shotgun,
Yep.
standard, and is world champion rifle, semi-auto open.
So if anyone watched the Gunroom TV videos of us going out to Sweden for the Rifle World Shoot,
That was fun, wasn't it?
it was an amazing and a really good wedding that week. There was like 1,500 competitors over the 2 weeks, and he won. Right, he won semi-auto open division, which is like the top division, like it's the fastest you can go with a rifle, and he won. He is literally the world champion at practical rifle shooting, and he won, as you said, the standard shotgun. there's
the standard shotgun is
Yeah.
a very hotly contested spot. Like the sort of competition he was going up against and the people he beat include Kim Leppänen, who is a previous world champion, and Josh Kenny, who's a previous junior world champion as well. Like the people he's up against are like Josh Kenny is the sort of person where you go to a match when he's attending it, and basically it's a competition for second place. Because first place is guaranteed by that point. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah, it is incredible. Going looking at the
and
results.
Jarkko is considerably better. That's
he won by 2 or 3%.
I think when you're talking in that realm,
That's a huge margin.
That's a huge margin.
So he is now we're very pleased to say he is now part of Team Magload. He will have a full Magload rig.
It's on its way to him as we speak.
Yes, all packed and built actually by Paul. So if there's anything wrong, Jarkko...
It was my fault.
It was Ryan's fault.
It was Ryan's fault.
So yeah, that huge news for Magload. It's we always said there's a number of champions that already use the equipment, but I believe Jarkko is the first world champion to sort of start using the Nexus system. So big.
No, because Lucas Roth is junior
World champion.
Junior world champion.
Okay.
So he's not the first world champion to use Magload gear.
Right.
Oh, not the first, because world champions have used Magload gear. He's not the first world champion to be sponsored by Magload, because that's Lucas Roth as the first one.
Okay. But
Jarkko is the world champion.
It's a huge. You couldn't move around him because the size of his head. He's like the world champion using my caddies. Yeah, Connors.
We didn't offer. He asked.
Yeah, he came.
Yeah?
He came.
Our stuff's good.
Yeah.
It's that good.
So very very happy. Connors has been swinging it around all day.
Over the moon about it. Over the moon about it.
So if you want the kit that's used by world champions, visit magload.co.uk.
Seriously, I'm going to type his name into the chat, and you can go and look at his Wikipedia page.
This might have been a bit of sort of lost in translation because Jarkko's Finnish. But
the quote.
The quote. It is beautiful. We deliberated whether to put this in his bio, but he sent us the list of achievements. And if you go to his Wikipedia page, you'll be scrolling for a long time of the amount of wins. But it was the statement along the lines of
any rifle match which Finland.
any mini rifle match within Finland,
which Finland has arranged.
I have won. So any mini rifle match in the country of Finland, he's won. Any in the existence of mini rifle.
Just
as
a little
discipline.
bit of clarity outside of the UK. Mini rifle is sometimes cross. The phrase mini rifle is sometimes confused with PCC because it could have been a 9mm match.
Yeah.
But yeah, so pretty insane. I'm very pleased to have him on board, and I think once COVID is all done and dusted, we should be taking a flight out to do some filming with him.
Yes, we're going to do some epic videoing and get some pictures. It was funny for a double world champion. He doesn't have many pictures of himself, so we're going to help him out with that. But anyway, Mr. E30, thank you very much for your support there. Can I ask all three of your opinions? Would you go for a Tikka T3X TAC/varmint 223 or go all out on a T3X TAC A1 223? But is it worthy of the price? Is worthy of the price, or a 260 Remington easy to apply for long range?
This is really
Fox?
a question for Alex. I think.
It really is. Alex is MIA. Oh no, he's coming back. He's coming back.
He's having dinner.
He was just having dinner.
Yeah.
Did you hear all of that?
The T3 versus a Remy.
No. So it's a T3 TAC.
TAC A1 versus a Remy what?
Versus a T3 varmint.
So it's whether you go for a Paul's just showing the comment to him now, so we have the feedback.
We'll have the voice of God on shortly. Personally,
just go for the Tikka TAC A1. Like, it's a hell of a rifle. We do have one. It's over the other side, around the corner. There's a review on Gunroom TV if you want to learn a bit more of it. If you haven't already watched that, and the verdict.
There's no way you're taking the TAC A1 fox hunting.
You could.
Is it too
they're too heavy, they're too unwieldy, they're just too big and bulky.
You find a spot and let the foxes come to you.
If you also buy a car to go with it and mount it on their property, I mean, they're big, heavy.
Well, no. The thing is, if you buy a TAC A1, you just need to plonk it down. The foxes will come out to see your lovely rifle. And then
Oh, that's shiny.
Club them on the head and save you money on the ammo.
Well, that's what they're doing out in America.
That's what they say, you know. If it's heavy, it's reliable, and if it doesn't work,
Yeah, and when he says long range, I mean, yeah, 260 Remington's great round as well, but a 223 is going to take a fox out 500 yards. If you're going much over that, I'm not sure the person who owns the land you're shooting over will be very happy that you're trying to shoot foxes much further than that. So, yeah, a 223 varmint, good rifle.
Yeah.
Best value for what it is.
On the note of Daniel Smerrill's comment, stay away from Remington as they have gone bust and warranties are iffy. Daniel, this is probably the 5th or 6th time that Remington have gone bust in like the last 3 years.
They haven't gone bust. It's a company restructure.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much means the same thing, but
the thing is, Remington has been going bust for like the last 20 years, as far as I understand it. And they keep restructuring, keep getting bought out by new people, and the brand carries on going. The thing is with a brand like Remington, is it's such a big brand that no one's going to let it die. Because the name alone is worth something.
Absolutely, and Remington is built on, you know, it's like a family company. You know, unfortunately, this is sort of what happens when the stock market gets involved with companies like this, because that's really all it is, you know, pension funds getting moved around everywhere, and sort of stashes of money being transferred halfway across the world. But Remington is not going to disappear. Like Sig Sauer or Colt, or, you know, like all of these names will always remain. I mean, even like in cars, MG is still a brand. It's still making cars.
It's owned by a Chinese company now,
yes,
but it's
they're made in China. They're not British
No,
anymore,
they are
but
made. I think they kept the MG factory. No, they closed the MG factory.
They stick the badge on here, made in Britain.
Yeah.
But it's
what's the next best thing to a Remington 700? Anything that costs more, basically. Remington 700 is the best gun you're ever going to buy for the money. They're great for upgrading and tinkering and doing everything you want to.
Yeah.
But there's really no comparison until you start doubling your budget.
like close to it is probably like a low down Tika.
I wouldn't say it would, because I'd still take the Remington because of the amount of stuff you can do to it.
So would I. It depends what you want out of that rifle. A lot of people, there was a Hauer package that you used to be able to get. A few people have recommended that to me. Personally, I would just always go with the 700. You can replace every bit of it. People hold loads of spares of them. There's possibilities around this.
That thing's like 14 times the price of a Remington.
Did he just say? Did he just suggest the Desertec instead
Says,
of a Remington?
Look behind Conners for a better rifle than any Remington.
Yeah, slight different. I mean,
It is better. It's not untrue. It is a better rifle.
and it is technically better than any Remington. But when I bought my SPS Varmint back, oh god, it must have been like 6 years ago. That cost me 700 quid. Like, so you could literally buy 10 of them for the cost of that rifle. You know, so it's horses for courses. Some people just hate
it's
money.
not. Just buy a 700. Like if that's your budget range, like if your budget is £1,000, buy a 700, buy a nice scope, and upgrade as you go.
So I've got a comment from Peter Isaac. I don't know if people were talking about this already, but he's saying he has a SIG 522 SWAT. I bloody love the rifle, shoots really well, or at least used to until recently. I'm getting at least 20 light strikes per 100 rounds shot. I've cleaned it, checked, and find any idea.
Just one of those things.
Is it ammunition? What ammunition are you looking?
No, it'll be something starting to wear out in the gun. It will
firing pin.
I would start with firing pin. Make sure the rails are clear and the breech face is clear if you clean the bolt already. But firing pin, I would get a new one because you should always have a spare firing pin for any gun that you have. Compare your old one to your new one. If it's significantly shorter or worn out, there's your answer. But the trouble is, the rifle is prone to many issues, including light strikes. So,
well, I recently reviewed one. I had a subscriber bring down a classic version, and Alex actually has a SWAT. And for any of you that watch the video, you'll know that loads of you have asked for it. Alex has had one sat here the whole time, and it's taken me far too long to actually get there and out there and do it. I really like the rifle if you just take it at face value. If you're just going to go and enjoy it for what it is, you're going to have a great time. If you're going to try and make it into what it isn't, which is a fast, quick competition rifle, then you're going to get very frustrated. But compared to the other clones, it's one of the best on the market, and I would actually personally,
If you like the 522,
yes, you'll love it.
you'll love it.
But
If you're looking for a competition gun
Yeah.
or a hunting gun, then it's not the thing for you. It's the same sort of thing as
It's
buying
not,
a
but-
GSG MP5.
yes,
You buy it because you like an MP5.
but I wouldn't actually put the 522 in the same category as the other clones. I think it is on its own a good rifle.
Okay.
It's not that it's a clone of something. It could hold its own as a good 2.2. So just like the Strybog.
Stryborg.
Strybog.
No, the
Strybogly.
Strybog is a proper gun built by a proper gun manufacturer.
Yeah, but again, that is a clone.
It's not.
It's
not because
neither's
it's
the 522.
No, but the 522 isn't using the genuine chassis. The
No,
Tyrannus,
but it is built from the ground up
the
2.2.
Strybog is using everything bar the bolt from the full bore gun and a few other bits.
No, because the magwell is different. It's definitely got some differences.
Okay,
I think it's more different than you think,
but it's still made by the person who makes the full bore.
but so's the SIG.
Yeah. I
So
suppose.
that's what I mean is like
the
with
SIG also make air pistols and they're terrible as well.
yeah, not everyone not everyone can always make good guns, but there's
Sorry,
what
carry
are
on.
going on.
So someone's asked, is Mossberg 500 pump action shotgun any good? And David Kittle, Mossberg 590 pump JM is fat. Is.
But yeah, anyway, I give the 522 a big thumbs up for it.
All right, let's go through some of the other questions. How many slugs should you ask for on your FAC if you're doing practical shooting? David Kittle was absolutely correct. 300 slug lets you buy a slab with 50 spare. Any tips on growing a beast beard? Paul? No.
Don't ask me.
No.
He's only got his first pubes the other day.
Step 1. Don't shave.
Damn it, that's what I've been doing wrong.
You've been shaving the wrong bit, mate. Testing all my best. Is a Mossberg 500 pump action shotgun any good? No, it is not. Stay very far away. If you want a decent pump action, obviously Supernova. I will always say Supernova. There's a reason why every good shooter who pumps uses one. Nova, if you want to cheap out, but it's not worth saving the money. Remington 870 Wingmaster, if you can get an old one, I wouldn't really recommend going for any of the new ones. They work fine, but the trigger group is riveted together, so once stuff does break, as it inevitably does in all guns, you won't be able to change it without dumping the entire trigger group. Yeah, so how does Callum know that? How does Callum know what?
That Paul only has one pube. It's the community showers.
Yeah, communal showers. Plenty of beard oils for the itchy stage. See, so my way of getting past the itchy stage was just to brush it daily and shampoo it daily.
I think I'm in a permanent state of itchy
You
stage.
need to get longer then. If
Well,
it's
no,
itchy now, it
because
needs to get longer.
this is long for me. This is because I just haven't been asked over the last 2 weeks. But I like it shorter. I like it neater personally. Anyway, moving away from beards, there was a question.
Well, no, because now the questions have come up. Any tips on growing a godly beard, guys?
I don't know who do we know that has a godly beard.
I don't know.
Don't shave.
Don't shave.
Don't shave.
Don't shave.
Maglood.
Maglood.
Yeah.
Maglood.
Maglood gives you a shiny protected coat.
Yep, 1 drop in each eye daily.
And the bell. Wait for the burning.
Just so you know it's working.
List of bloopers that will never make the light of day.
Florence, is the Magload click compatible with double alpha racer
It's
mag pouches?
almost like we paid him to say that.
I am so sick of people asking this question that I've just got to bloody well done it. Because seriously, over the last 3 days we've had 5 people ask, not including Florence just now.
Yeah.
So, I do have something here to show you. I don't actually have the low profile because I've left it in the container, but the low profile. That's all right, don't worry about it.
Up and away, Paul.
But the low profile clip that goes on here, I've taken it and I've adapted it to include a ball joint.
You're not really like. You always do this. You're like, look at this thing over here.
So it's got a ball joint like that, and it can swivel all over the place. Shall I go up and show people? No, I mean this is a horrible prototype, so it doesn't really look very nice.
Yeah, but it's got to focus.
Not even focused.
Paul's going to focus on that. I don't really want you to focus on it because it's a horrible prototype. But so it's a low profile clip with a ball joint on it, so you can move it here, there, and everywhere. Masses and masses and masses more adjustment than the actual double alpha one it originally comes with. So it goes all the way over there. Hits Callum in the face a couple of times. He's trying to lick it from over there. But loads of adjustment. A little lock screw at the top, so you can adjust on the fly quickly. And it will come with 2 ball joints, I think is the current plan. One to fit double alpha pouches and one without the little spigots, which could be a bit more generic. So yes, in answer to everyone who keeps on asking that question, it's done.
You do the mics over here, right? And they probably can't hear fuck all.
But the production prototypes are on their way. More people asking now. But the production prototypes are on their way. Once we've verified that production tolerances are in spec, they will hit the machines and be ready, well, within a few weeks. But I think it's going to be the sort of thing we'll probably have to put up for a pre-order because we just don't know how many people are going to buy these now.
Do you know what would be really good?
What?
If these were compatible with the double alpha holsters.
Have you ever seen how far I can insert this into someone's
They
ear?
are.
What?
They are.
They are.
What, these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all compatible.
If you drill enough.
There is one screw.
Yeah.
No, I mean the pouches.
Well, you said holster.
I meant pouches. I was trying to do a funny. It backfired. I will shut up now. Have we
Yeah.
hit 100 likes yet?
33 hasn't gone up since the beginning. So yeah, there is that. It is coming. It's on its production prototype. Should be here very, very soon. And Paul will tell us if they're any good, since he is our resident pistol expert.
Expert's a very strong word. I wouldn't use that.
Yeah, but he doesn't have 10 President's Medals, has it? Does
Not
it?
yet. I've got more than you. And so does
Yeah,
Connors.
but you don't have
Yeah,
10.
I've got more than you as well.
It doesn't count unless you have 10.
Can we talk about that?
What?
I got President's Medal.
Well, you don't technically.
I don't have it.
But yes, you should do.
I should have
very,
it.
very soon.
There's no reason why I should not have this President's Medal because I won the British Masters. Standard manual.
Yes. So Connors, as well as coming second in Costello Heath, also won the standard manual division at the British Masters.
And if you want to know more about that, there is the preview video out on the Gunroom TV.
Yep.
So go and watch that. Now, I just want to talk about that video very quickly because what a lot of people don't seem to understand is that video is a teaser.
It's a preview.
It's a preview because what we're going to be doing is with commentary, first-person footage and all sorts of stuff, take you through the stages and break it down how individuals have shot it, what their stage plans were, how they differed, and also things like what the differences were between standard manual and auto. So for instance, there's a really interesting stage which we viewed in the hotel almost right after filming it, which was sitting in a canoe and shooting 8 clays. Now, being more well practiced, I came up onto the target quicker.
I still think you were wrong.
All right, no, the way I shot it. All right, the way the argument we're having was which should you shoot it from the left first or the right first.
So you're in a canoe, but
anyway,
you're on the side to the targets. So you can either the quick way that I thought was to bring it straight up to the target.
Right in front of you.
What Connors did was swing right round and then unwind.
Yeah, so because I was going from hardest to easiest, whereas Callum's going from easiest to hardest.
Yeah.
Now, it's not until you see the footage and the slow motion that I realised that it is indeed faster to come up on the target in front of you and come across. But I still, even though I did it the slow way, did it faster than you. But then what's really interesting playing the footage side by side, I did. Is how even though I come up on the first target faster, the Callum actually overtakes me in the shot to shot and actually ends up finishing the string faster than I did.
Oh, yes,
I came up on
time to first shot was quicker.
Yeah. But if I'd gone that,
it would have been a lot quicker.
It would have been a lot quicker. I'm not denying that.
It was interesting that once we'd both started shooting.
It's about the third or fourth target. you
Yeah.
overtake me.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between auto and a pump.
There's also a really interesting that we're going to break down is like the difference between standard and modified. So you're effectively using the same gun, a tube-fed semi-auto.
Well, you'll start to see where the reloads start to make a difference and what stages they don't make a difference on as well, which
Yeah.
I think is also going to be interesting. Anyway, let's not give away too much
Yeah,
because it's going to be a full suite of, I hope,
It's gonna
very
be-
informative videos.
we hope some of the best commentary that sort of practical shooting scene. You know, it's going to be real analysis of the stages.
You need to
Hopefully,
get to work doing some graphics.
I do.
Have you downloaded a copy of those stage plans before they disappear forever?
Yeah, I've got everything.
Okay,
yeah. So we're going to do everything. We're going to have hopefully, if the budget allows, 3D renders of the stages and all that, which just means late nights working on that. So I'll get to it.
3D renders. Yeah, I ain't doing it.
Oh no, actually, because you could render them in SolidWorks, couldn't you?
Moving swiftly onwards.
Anyway, it's going to be hopefully like you've never seen before. You should be able to learn quite a lot about it, but then also like understand where the matches are. And actually, one of the questions that I kept seeing pop up online is after releasing the video, again, go on over to Gunroom TV to see that preview video. So many people are going, oh, is this competition invite only? Well, you have to have your safety course, as we were talking about earlier on the stream, which Blue Fieldsports will be running in the very near future if you want to get that out of the way. And then once you've got a safety course, you can go and it doesn't matter if it's your first ever competition.
You don't need a safety course to compete. Find a club.
Yep.
Lots of clubs will have their own club competitions. They're not even like levelled UK PSA competitions. They'll do their own in inter-club or intra-club competition. And then there are a lot of level 1s starting to pop up in shotgun this year, which haven't happened in the past, mostly down to KFC, thank you Kiddle. There are level 1s popping up that people can go and shoot with no safety certificate. The next level 1 from KFC being an exception because they're requiring a safety certificate. But that's neither here nor there, that's because of COVID numbers and getting through the match quickly. So yeah, you don't have to be... It's not an invite. You don't necessarily even have to have a safety course to go and have some fun doing some practical shooting.
Absolutely not.
You know?
But even for Dartford, which was it's consistently one of the best UK PSA matches of the year, it could be your first match. As long as you've got the safety course, you can go.
For a lot of people, it was.
Yeah.
For a lot of people every year.
Yeah.
Because Dartford probably has one of the highest intakes of new members to shotgun.
Yeah.
And they have safety courses on site. Generally speaking, the Masters is probably at least 20 entrants. It's going to be their first competition, and it's a level 3, one of the biggest level 3s in the country, and that's their first competition. And you know what? They have just as much fun as everyone else.
Absolutely. So Kevin Adam talking about the Form 1894 adjustable stocks. He's saying, are they unicorns? He's had one on order for nearly 4 months now.
Is that the form one?
Is that a customer of yours?
It's not a customer of mine. If he wants a blue one, I've got one in stock. I can ship it to him on Monday.
So Kevin, if you want a blue one, you can have it on Monday. If you want to get in contact with Blue
shipped on
Fields,
Monday.
well, shipped on Monday from
No, you could have it to him by Monday.
by Monday.
Yeah, because we ship it tomorrow and
ship
it'll
tomorrow.
be delivered by Monday.
Yeah.
Or you can probably pay extra and have Saturday delivery. I'll tell you what the cost is of that later. But no, just talking to Alex.
Yeah.
I think it's like 25 quid or something for Saturday DPD delivery.
But yeah, if you want one, get in contact with Blue Fieldsports. They stock the whole range of form rifle stocks and grips. And also, please.
I think Blue Fieldsports is probably one of the biggest UK retailers of form products.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone sells as much as Blue does.
But he's also saying, please re-review the Chris Defiance, this time with another rifle and good ammo. I was so upset with your review as my own is absolutely 100% reliable. So another video that went out within the last couple of weeks was my review finally of the Chris Defiance.
We've had this argument several times before, and I do understand where you're coming from. Like, in my experience, Chris Defiance is a very reliable gun, but you can only review the gun that's put in front of you.
It is, and I have had this issue with other manufacturers as well, where I've had guns down that haven't worked, and they've said that's just that gun. If we gave you another one, it would be absolutely fine. At the end of the day, as Connor says, I can only review what's been put in front of me, but for everything that I mentioned that I experienced with that gun, I do show footage of it happening. That was my genuine experience, and also loads of people that I've talked to that have owned them have had issues. And actually, a week before I filmed that video, there was a gun, and I think I talk about this in the review. There was a Chris where the bolt had punched through the rear where the buffer tube would normally be.
That's probably a little unfair because the amount of rounds that gun had seen.
But how
I have to say, the conversion was beautiful, and I really hope the customer likes the gun. You never tell me.
But it's like everyone poo-poos the Smith because it's plastic and polymer and cheap, and yet people put hundreds of thousands of rounds through them. Fine. I'm still on my original firing pin.
You keep saying that it's going to go the way
It's
going to go the same way that I'm still on my first magazine.
Yes. For
That's
me,
because you don't look after your magazine.
it's not, and I don't particularly look after my guns very well. But the Smith just works. It's like the Apple of 22.
Here we go again.
Anyway,
so people saying that all ranges are closed. Not all ranges are closed. KFC is open. If you're not a member, go and join. Kiddle's in the comments somewhere. I'm sure he can put a link up to membership. But yeah, KFC are going to be shooting every other week PSG for the next 2.5, 3 months.
Oh, my girlfriend's going to be so pleased.
Why? Oh right, yeah, because we're right next door.
Yeah, I think we said about this a few weeks ago, but the new range is like literally just across the road from where my girlfriend and her family live. They weren't particularly impressed, but because they knew that I was part of it, they were like, well, yeah, we hate it, but they know we're having fun over there, so they give a bit of sympathy.
Phoenix range is soon based on Callum's video. Which Phoenix is that?
I would imagine it's going to be the Slimford one, the practical shotgun.
Don't take everything to heart if anyone says something nasty stuff.
So I'm sure Ron won't have a problem with me saying this because everyone has experienced it there. The Phoenix range in Slimford, there is a very particular set of rules for that particular range. They don't fully comply with NRA rules and they don't fully comply with UK PSA rules. It's their own sort of club rules.
It's Ron's rules.
It's Ron's rules.
And it's Ron's club.
And
that's why it's
fair
Ron's
play.
rules. And also Ron has some fairly strange things that he has to abide by, like shotgun only up until a certain time and then it's only mini rifle thereafter, all that kind of stuff.
No, it's like you can go and shoot shotguns fine, but when you have to shoot 2.2, you have to shoot them moderated. And there will be.
And it's only after a certain time.
So what used to happen is if we were shooting mini rifle and shotgun on the same day, it would be shotgun in the morning and the mini rifle in the afternoon. But that's where I started practical shotgun. It's a great club. There is loads of people there that are more...
And there's burgers.
Oh yes, they've got a burger.
Burgers. Although
place.
I never did get my burgers. I'd always pay for them and never get them. I think Ron liked me very much.
But no, that's where I started and fell in love with practical shooting. And there's a whole host of people there that will do loads for you to sort you, get you up to speed and help you along.
Just please bear in mind, Phoenix is not the be-all and end-all of PSG. It is a starting point. Please do, once you've got your teeth into it, go and find a club that's going to support you on your progress throughout the sport.
Well, it depends, because there's people that get into the sport that don't really have a huge drive to go and compete and don't necessarily want to be going for the top. They just want to go and have fun.
No, I know, but I just have a real problem with Phoenix.
Anyway, let's moving on.
Can you shoot a PSG comp without a license using club guns? Yes, you can. Come to KFC.
Paul, can you bring up Alex's photo again, please?
Why?
Should I bring up the other one?
No, bring up the first one first.
Why?
Well, because he just said, Callum, is Phoenix Burgers where it all went downhill for your tummy? Well, that's a bit pot calling the kettle black, my friend. And as my assistant will show, point in case in point.
Hang on, wait. There is only one thing to say about this. Too many chins.
I love you, and you, and you. And this is where it all went wrong for Alex. It was at this moment he knew he'd
messed up.
There we go. So yes, so Alex, yeah, it might have all gone downhill from for me there. But when did it start for you?
Oh dear.
Love you, sweetie.
He says I'm bigger than you, higher in the food chain. Yeah, we know you're bigger than he is.
In my
Ain't
belly.
hard.
Here we go. It's just coming on our screens now.
Look at that.
Oh, it's glorious. Absolutely glorious. 10 out of 10. That should be your Tinder photo, Alex. 100%.
It probably is. Oh, look at that. So sultry.
He looks very down there. Very, very down.
A bad version of Austin Powers. Yes.
Oh, Florence is going to get savage.
Milan, how are you doing, buddy? Without ROs, there will not be any matches. Very, very true. Who's saying? Oh, what? Blackstone 45 is saying ROs tend not to do well match-wise from what I've seen. I would beg to differ, considering I won the British Masters and came second at Cotswold Heath. Just saying. And I rode both of them.
The modified winner of Dartford.
Rupert Stanley.
R-Road. Ben Ducker didn't R-O. He did...
Standard didn't R-O because he's...
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
But two of the 4 division winners were ROs.
And I mean, Russell Hicks, he came fairly high up.
Russell Hicks was shooting for first senior, wasn't he? Was going for it.
So
he RO'd.
I would say, well...
So right. Having RO'd and shot many matches now.
Too many match. Too many.
There's no such thing as too many matches. There is a point where ROing becomes a detriment, and that's when you shoot the pre-match and RO the main match, because you're not with necessarily the sort of shooters you would normally shoot with. You don't make the best stage plans, you don't get the right mental game on, and all that kind of stuff. Certainly the way I chose to do Dartford I think was best. RO'd the Friday, shot the Saturday, having slept in a hotel the night before, and then RO'd again Sunday instead of shooting on Sunday when it definitely would have been too tired after ROing for 2 days.
And I would actually say that the way you did it was the best way, because you get to... You're there during the pre-match. Now, whilst you are ROing only on, 3 or 4
stages? I get to see those 3 or 4 stages.
But many times.
Yeah, and a lot of it doesn't actually work. You don't actually end up making stage plans while you're ROing. You don't really see a stage when you're ROing.
No, but you watch. You can.
It doesn't quite look.
ROing doesn't give you an advantage.
No, ROing does not give you an advantage. But what it does enable you to do is, after the day is done, is go and look at the stages, which is something a lot of the competitors have already been there during the pre-match doing.
Yes, yeah.
British Masters aside, because of COVID.
Yeah.
But a lot of competitors will go and look at the stages the day before the match, and as an RO shooting the pre-match, you don't get that opportunity. So, I prefer to. RO the pre-match, which normally helps as well, because most of the ROs are usually shooting that pre-match, and then shooting the main match. And I really disagree with ROs tend not to do well match-wise, because as far as I can tell, they all tend to do pretty damn well.
I would say if you end up ROing the Friday and the Saturday and then shoot on the Sunday, you are going to be more fatigued. You're going to be more tired. Again, I think the way you did it was probably the best way, and you were with the squad that
same thing with Cotswold Heath.
Yeah,
I rode the day before I shot it, and at least it's. So
Alex is saying he's got a girlfriend. You cheeky buggers. Blow up doesn't count, mate. I'm just going to put it out there. I find
if you need a puncture repair kit for your girlfriend, you need to relook at your choices in life. I think
he gets very deflated.
No, she does. He just gets a bit down.
Someone was asking, Neil from Magload. Hi Neil, I did see you pop up earlier, but thanks for joining and sticking with us. Who is at the Ely Speed Steels this weekend? Not me, because it's my my girlfriend's 30th tomorrow.
Not me, because CBA.
God, you would enjoy it. I would
love it, but we did the Masters, I've done Cotswold Heath, and I can't be bothered because next week we're doing KFC.
The Chidgicon.
That Chidgicon is going on one of the kids' guns, and I'm never going to see it ever again.
I've done it. I've already done a video on it.
Have you?
Yeah. There's not really a lot to say. There really isn't. It's like the premise of is a £40 Trijicon copy from China any good? No.
No,
No,
don't do
it's
it.
not
Just
worth
buy
it.
the real thing.
You
It's
might as well
so
just
bad.
set fire to £40.
So bad.
Yeah.
So bad. Well, it's not setting fire.
When
to
you
it.
took it out of the box and there was this blue glow emitting from it, that's when you knew it was wrong.
Well, it's interesting you've done a video on it, because did you even touch on the worst part of it? It can't be zeroed.
Can't it?
It doesn't move right enough to actually go over the centre line of the barrel.
Oh, okay.
So it's pointing like
Well, it's the fact
way
that
off to the left.
what should be a 2 MOA dot is like a streak.
Now that is down to your astigmatism, nothing
It's
to do
not.
with the dot. It is, because I see a dot.
Yeah, but you...
Yeah, but everyone sees a different shape in that, and actually the worse a reflex sight is, the more you get these streaks and the starbursts and all that kind of stuff, which goes to show how bad of a reflex sight it is.
Yeah.
But the dot is still circular. Do you know how to prove it? View it through your phone.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you view it through your phone, your astigmatisms have got nothing to do with it.
But I didn't have a problem.
Just swap eyes.
Or swap eyes, that also works.
In one eye I get a flare, and in the other I get a dot.
Yeah. Like, the dot is a dot. It's got nothing to do with the fact... I mean, it's a bad reflex. It's a terrible reflex sight.
The kids are going to really enjoy it.
The kids are going to love it. And
No, it's when
it's for the kids.
it's when they go, I'm not using that. Like,
Yeah.
so
What red dots do I recommend? Difficult. I am... Whilst I've tried a lot of red dots, I don't know if I would.
So Dan has asked if you've tried this. So
That's not a red dot. That's a magnifier.
That's what I've been going wrong with. I thought it was just out of battery. So we again, I think this is a first here in the UK.
Right. So
It looks like what they would use to catch speeders.
I don't often get a chance to have my hands on a proper holographic sight, but this is a proper holographic sight, and because of that, the reticle is beautiful, crisp. Your eye looks really small. The reticle is beautiful, crisp, and yes, a lot of people will complain of the glitteriness of the reticle. That's because it's a laser reticle. It's not my cup of tea. What I want, and I don't think it exists anywhere, is I want an LED holographic, so not laser, so you don't get the glitter, an LED holographic dot. In this form factor is lovely. I could do with a thinner casing, but
So,
I mean,
so this is
this is a combat sight.
Yeah, for
That's
anyone
what it's
wondering, it's the new Vortex UH1 Gen 2. But what we believe is it's the first pairing of the Micro 3X from Vortex magnifier with the new Gen 2. We believe this is the first set in the UK,
But
which we will be doing a review of.
This is a simply amazing holographic sight. It is not what I would call a red dot, though.
No.
It is a holographic sight and an extremely good one, but it's not a red dot. Like, the thing is, for the weight of it, because it is heavy, I wouldn't mind it so much. If it was an LED...
Personally,
dot.
I think I would still lean Trijicon MRO.
Um,
That's what you should have bought, Dan. You should have got a Trijicon MRO HD.
Out of the two, I don't know. It depends on use case. So if it's for practical, then certainly I would go for the MRO. If it's for pretty much anything else, this UH1 is extremely nice. I think it's a really, really nice holographic sight, and I wish someone will do a holographic sight with an LED and a dot.
Oh, bloody hell does this... This is... Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm getting very confused. Sorry, there will be reviews of these. It is, from what we've sort of tested so far, very impressed with it.
Recommended for a decent offset red dot. I really like the Vortex Venom for your offset, not for your main, because of the blue tinge. But then again, I'm not having great luck with the shield at the moment, so I should have listened to everyone else.
David Kiddle, fake is fake, just like soft air.
Yeah.
What do you want me?
You have awakened the dragon, David.
No, you haven't. He's gone back to his phone again.
No.
He got a red dot with a cross. I think it's probably meant to be like that. Anyways.
You can't buy from suppliers directly. Vortex AMG and Razor lineups are made in the USA, not from Asia. Is that right?
I think that is the case.
I thought they were assembled.
No, I believe...
All razors are assembled in the US with parts made in, I think, Japan. But then as you go further down, they end up in various different Asian countries, with China being the bottom one. If you buy a Crossfire, it's made in China. But Crossfires rock because they're stupid cheap, and you can have as many as you want in your whole life.
Do you have
I've got like 4 Crossfires.
Crossfire 2?
Yeah, that's the crossbow scope.
Yeah. So, the Razor Red Dot is quite nice. I find the dot itself to be a bit too big to be a secondary optic. It's definitely a main or a pistol optic, but the fact that the battery can be changed out from the side means it's really useful for competition where you might be wanting to change the battery just to be sure more regularly than normal. Pardon me. Any issues of using red dots holographics on shotguns due to recoil? Absolutely not. Your mounting solution may suffer, depending on what you go for. But certainly if you're bolting it to the receiver, absolutely no problem. If you're mounting it on the rib, which is where it should be on a shotgun, you will need to make sure you get a good mount, and there are quite a few good retailers making those.
I mean, if you go and buy something that's cheap, like it probably won't hold 0 on a shotgun.
No, but we're not talking about
we're talking
we're talking about like a Vortex or something,
or a Trigicon or something, you know.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't put a Trigicon. You need a pistol dot on a shotgun.
No, the Trigicon make the small ones.
The RMR. RMR is still a bit too big for a shotgun, I think. I don't know. I'm not a modified shooter. It'd probably be a question to ask a modified shooter. Yeah. Unless you're shooting open, in which case it's going to be a receiver-mounted red dot anyway, and you're treating it more like a rifle. So,
So in terms of...
we don't talk about Aimpoint all that much, actually. So my problem with Aimpoints is whilst they're very, very good dots, there's too much scope body on all of them. Whether it's their pistol dots or their tube dots, there's just too much around them.
They're a combat...
They're a combat
optic.
site.
Yeah, optic. Like, they are making ones more now for sport and for practical. But it's just like with EOTech, you know, and I used to have an EOTech and I loved it when I was more into plinking, before I really started getting into competition. You need something much smaller. These things, it's like with the Trigicon, they are designed to be run over by tanks. They are designed for people to be dropped into the middle of nowhere and literally have their lives depend on the equipment that they're using. And there are certain things that they just can't compromise on when you're in that sort of hostile environment. When you're making sports scopes, when you're making competition scopes.
And that's the thing, that's what Venom do with their Razor lineup. These scopes are made for competition. There is no other company out there doing it. You know, there are companies like Schmidt who will tell you, oh, this scope is suitable for competition. Well, no, it's not. Stop BSing me. But there is only one company out there making scopes for competition. I mean, it's the only thing that JM has put his name to that I would actually say is any good.
No, the
I can say that now
because Smith & Wessons are pretty good.
I can say that now because we've got a shooter better than him. 3 MOA or 6 MOA depends on the usage. If it's rifle, you certainly want a smaller dot. If it's shotgun, you definitely want a 6 MOA dot on
Talking about dots, we were talking about Holosun the other week, weren't we?
Yeah.
Like,
if I can get my hands on that.
And I think it was a subscriber that came down and...
It was... Oh, I can't say his name.
No.
Yeah.
Well, it was somebody...
I know who it was.
Yeah, somebody came down with one and we
were
both...
He helped us with the guitar.
With the guitar?
Yeah, with the Honer.
Okay. Yeah. But he let us have a quick play with the Holosun and we were really impressed. Now, the name does sound very Far East.
But
right?
It's not.
It's not. It's American.
It's Californian.
Well, you know, I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing.
No.
It's probably it's limited to a 10 times magnifier. But, well, that's been overturned now, hasn't it? So
you can't have any high capacity scopes in California.
Well, that's why the Razor HD only goes up to times 10. So we were really impressed, and I actually got in contact with Holosun and said, like, look, I'm really intrigued. I've never really tried your kit out in anger. Would you mind, sending a couple of demos? Nothing.
So if you guys want to see us with some Holosun 517s or the like, please drop them a line.
Send them some emails. Say you need to get these guys some optics to test.
Because I have to say, it's the only, I believe the 519C is the one that we saw. Right. It will knock everything else we've tested out the park, including the L-Can.
I don't know.
Thing is, the L-Can... what was shown with the MRO HD that Dan sent down is with the dot small and crisp enough, you can outshoot. Well, I certainly with myself, I can outshoot myself with magnified optic. It's all to do with the clarity of the lenses, and that Holosun was crystal clear, very much like the MRO was, except the MRO was very blue.
And the feature set as well was like, you know, the different
Well,
reticles and colours.
It's very cool. And they're solar recharging as well, so they recharge themselves when they're out in the sun, which is why doesn't everyone else do it? But I'd actually like to try the more pared down version, which is just a dot. Maybe, you know what would be really good? A dot, but a dot that you can change the size on.
Is there no one that makes that?
I don't know if there is, but if there is, it'd probably be Holosun that can make it.
Yeah. Well, someone, Vicious Shear, is saying that it's Chinese. So they might be made out in China, but the company is registered in the US.
That's something to bear in mind, is that most optics are made out in China just because of the sheer amount of manufacturing that goes into them. If they're made domestically, you probably wouldn't be able to afford them.
Cinna 2004, what was the Vortex optic on the 1522 we shot? It
would have been the Razor Gen 2.
Would it?
Yeah.
Because
that's what was on there at the time.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay. So
What colour was the Magload Cinna?
yeah. What colour was the gun? Was it yellow, completely black, or blue? That will make a big difference. We'll be able to pick it out between those. But if
was it the Strike Eagle on yours?
So PST.
yeah.
Oh right, so it's either a Viper or a Gen 2 Razor.
It was either a Gen 2 PST, which is basically a Gen 2 Razor HD in terms of the
Gen
glass. Gen 1 Razor HD. But if you're looking for recommendations, that might be a bit expensive, but the 1:6 Razor HD I think is still one of the best out there. Obviously, if you just hate money, go for the Gen 3. I'm sure it's worth it to some. I'm really gonna have to go and try it out to make my opinion on that. But
we are out
Yes,
of time. We
but
are
yeah.
out of time.
So
Anyway, everything's made in China. Don't buy copies, and we love you all.
yeah, so we've got to very hastily wrap it up, but keep an eye out on the channel for the new reviews. We will be seeing you at the next live stream, so make sure you join us then. Thanks everyone for coming along this evening and sticking with us. Not too much moaning, just a little bit, maybe a lot.
Too much swearing, I think, tonight.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's swear. It's the Pepsi. But anyway, again,
It's
big
Paul
thanks for everyone.
aggravating us. So good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Good night, Florence's chins.
You and you and you and you. So there we go, guys. We will catch you later. Thanks for joining, and as always, we hope to see you soon.